Okay, hello everybody, welcome to Mad Red United. I'm Adam. A few technical difficulties tonight. Paul is not with me tonight, he's got a family, something going on with his family, can't actually make the live stream. I was hoping that I would have Ant on the video call, but he also is having technical difficulties, so God knows what's going on tonight. Everything's going Pete Tong, so we're just going to crack on with everything, just going over, well, basically without Ant and without Paul tonight. So it's just us, me on my lonesome. Hello everyone, thanks for everyone tuning in the comments. Let's get right into it. Where do we start? Because the last 48 hours have been quite interesting for United and probably the most encouraging of the summer so far. We had our first game of the pre-season tour where it was away because it is only Perth Glory, and they were absolutely garbage, to be honest. It was defence against attack, as expected. And we just did what we had to do. It was all about 18 new players that have come in, and obviously some of the kids that have come through as well. I'm not going to go into the first team, i.e. the players that were already there that we know played last season, because Birds, Lingard, people like that doing a pre-season, Bazaka, Daniel James, and some of the kids that came on as well, and they were the bright sparks in that game for me. I was really impressed with Wan-Bissaka. I thought the guy's tackling is insane. It's no wonder they call him the Spider. He's got legs that wrap around ankles. There's no way past him. I think I heard the commentators say it at one point where it's like you just cannot get past the guy, and you think he's gone. I think Wilfried Zaha said this as well. You think you passed him, and then somehow he gets a foot in and the ball's gone. You know where. And that's pretty much what it was. He was showing that again, and he did show some good signs going forwards. It was a tricky pitch. I think they had a Australia rules game on before it, the night before, the day before, and it was literally bobbling all over the place. We've seen it a few times, and we controlled the game, yes, albeit a poor outfit in Perth Glory, like we said, but all in all, it was a good performance. Standouts, I've already mentioned Bissaka. James looked really sharp. I mean, the guy has got pace to burn. We obviously knew about this before, but we wanted to see him in a United shirt, and now he sort of interchanged with some of the first team players, and he didn't look out of place. Didn't look out of place any more than the first team who have been playing all along with us. So for me, a definite positive in the game, because we showed intent, and both of the goals actually came from a high press, which is what Ollie has said, and I think he's just gone at trying to put that across. Last season we started that way, but then we just got completely burnt out because we wasn't fit enough. A full pre-season with Ollie's tactics, I've said this before, is what we needed, because the players need to be on the right fitness level to play a certain way. The high press was how we went about it yesterday. We didn't really create too much from our open play, but the main chances we did create were from mistakes that we pressurised them into, which is good. Yeah, it is only Perth, like I said, but better fitness, get better sharpness on a better pitch, and that all bodes well. It was good to see. And then second half even more, when some more of the youth team came on. Ghana proving that we don't need Sean Longstaff in my book, because anyone else scores that goal, which was an absolute peach, then we're all ranting and raving about it, aren't we? I mean, Ghana, literally, 2 minutes on the pitch, was it? His second touch, bang, bottom of the net, brilliant goal. And Gomez, sharp, my God, that kid is going places, let's be honest, because you can just tell by the way he takes the ball, and you can see it in a player like that, to just come in and first game for United of obviously pre-season, and just be that confident with the ball on that sort of pitch as well. Different climate, didn't look out of place at all. Mason Greenwood, exactly the same, did not look out of place, and probably was our brightest forward player. Rashford took his goal well, but for me it was the kids that stood out more than anything, and obviously the new signings, like I said, and that's what I look for in pre-season. That is what it's for. It's about sharpening up, getting match fit. I'm not going to judge any of the first team players, because they will be judged ultimately, like I said, when they start the season, and hopefully a few of them won't actually be in that team, and some of the kids will get a shout, and the new players definitely come in. The only bad side from that friendly yesterday was the fact that Luke Shaw obviously limped. He walked off. He wasn't exactly on crutches or anything, but it is rumoured that he has got a hamstring which could scupper the start of his season. And obviously everyone on social media has gone into a little bit of a panic mode, because that obviously means that Ashley Young, having got rid of him by Wan-Bissaka playing so well in my books, there's no excuse for playing Ashley Young at right back anymore. He spent that much money on a right back and he shows that much potential and progress already, playing in his first pre-season game, then Ashley Young will not be at right back, thank God. But then Luke Shaw goes down, gets an hamstring injury, and it's like, oh, you just know what's coming in a way, because we're throwing our eggs in certain baskets with certain players we're chasing, and one of them isn't a left back, and I can't see us bringing a left back in. Does that mean that Ashley Young now reverts to left back while Luke Shaw's injured? Ollie's made him club captain. He's already said it in the interview that when he's playing, he will be captain. If the captain is sat on the sidelines, or if the captain is there playing, then he's going to... Oh, I said that all wrong then, sorry. But yeah, if the captain is available to play and he's the only one who can fit into that position, then he is obviously going to play. Who else do we put at left back? Darlow can play there. He didn't get ahead of Ashley Young in terms of the right back position last year, so I cannot see Darlow squeezing into that left back role unless Ollie really is pushing it, and I cannot see it. I think he is going to go with our ultimate fear, which is Ashley Young at left back, which is, it's bad news, isn't it? Let's be honest. He's not a left back, and if he plays anywhere near as good as he does at right back, then we're in trouble, aren't we? Because we're expecting it to be a new sort of left-hand side come next season, especially if James is playing there, and he isn't going to get much help if Ashley Young is at left-back behind him, is there? It's no help for the lad, so fingers crossed that Luke Shaw actually does make a speedy recovery and gets back to playing as soon as possible. We're still waiting. I've not heard anything. I don't know if anyone else has about the severity of Luke Shaw's injury, but let's just cross our fingers and hope that it isn't so much a long-term one. We have got a few weeks before the start of the season yet, and obviously recovery time is key. So, going past that friendly, just let me know, guys, who stood out for you. A few people have said Wan-Bissaka in the comment section already, that he stood out more than anything. He did for me as well. Obviously, Pogba came in. What do you reckon to the remarks that Pogba is up for the captaincy? That would be a little bit of a bowing to player power, would it? Is it? I mean, Ollie's always backed Pogba, so is he going to change now just because of everything that's going on? I don't know. I don't want Pogba as captain, to be honest. I think it went wrong under Mourinho. I don't think he deserves a captain. He's not the right man for captain for me. The one man I think should be captain is David De Gea. But who knows? Who knows where Ollie's head at is with that? He's just mentioned it. I think he's just saying it because someone asked him the question. He just bluntly answered, yes, he is up for captaincy there, but we don't know. And then going past that, I mean, obviously we was all on a little bit of more of an upward sort of buzz in terms of our mood and positivity after the game. The day after, or that night, actually, I think it was Flex was on the United stand. He was talking about it as well, about possible signings, and the Harry Maguire one sort of did kick into overdrive a little bit, and then obviously more reports today that this deal is actually done and dusted in terms of an agreement between United and Leicester. People I can see already there going on about slabhead in the comment section below, and it would be a brilliant signing for us. Let's just forget about the money for now. It's the sort of money that we should have been spending 6 years ago. Never mind now. But Harry Maguire isn't worth that money that's being branded around. But Harry Maguire is a very good, established Premier League and international centre-back who is good on the ball and can carry the ball. He's immense in the air, and positionally is miles better than what we've got. He's an all in all. He is lacking a little bit of pace, but let's be honest, Phil Jones isn't the sharpest, is he? Rojo's not quick. And, you know, what he may lack in terms of speed and pace, he definitely makes up in every other aspect of his game, because I don't think I've seen a centre-back carry the ball like he does. I mean, I've watched him at United when he played for Hull, carry the ball from one box to the other and even get a shot away. He did it last season numerous times. I think he did it at City, was the standout one when he took it down the line, just kept going and going. We've missed that because when teams back in and put 5 behind the ball and you need that centre-back to come forward and carry it and make the extra man, you're not going to get that from Smalling or Jones. It's simple. And with Harry Maguire in the team, alongside Lindelof, if you've got Shaw there and Wan-Bissaka, then that's a different animal altogether. That's definitely looking like the start we need in terms of fighting for this top four. Top four would be on the agenda if I seen that. If I seen that starting lineup with that back four next season. And it is important that we get this Maguire deal over the line, because if Maguire signs with everything else we've already done this window, then that pretty much confirms and is 100% nailed on that 2/3 of the Three Stooges have absolutely no chance of playing next season. That being Ashley Young is out of it now with Wan-Bissaka there, because he's just 3 times the player that Ashley Young was, even more maybe, and we've seen that in 45 minutes. It was embarrassing how much better he is than Ashley Young. So Ashley Young's out of the equation. Yeah, we've got the issue with Shaw, but when Shaw's back fit, I don't think Solskjaer is going to leave Luke Shaw out of the team. So Young's gone with Bissaka being in the team. You bring Maguire in, there's no way that Lindelof's being dropped. Maguire's going in straight next to him. And that basically is no Jones, no Smalling, and no Ashley Young. If you would have offered me that at the start of this summer, going into the new season, I'd have ripped your hands off. That is what I would call progress. That is the ultimate, because them three have had their chance. We've talked about it loads of times, how much they have let the team down, and it basically is a no-brainer that if Harry Maguire comes into that team, there is no excuse whatsoever for Ole Solskjaer, because these are his players now, don't forget. These are the ones that he's brought into the club. If we sign Maguire, we've got Wan-Bissaka, there's no excuse for Ole Solskjaer to start either one of them three, unless Luke Shaw is injured, obviously. There's no excuse for it at all. And Maguire coming into that team takes them out of it, but adds another dimension to our defence. And it goes without saying, this would be a massive step forward for United, because we have been lacking that centre-back that can carry a ball out. Bailly looked good, but on the ball wasn't brilliant. Lindelof looks great on the ball and has been our best player last season, but going forward, he needs someone next to him who can actually rely on. If he wants to go forward, then he's got someone behind him who knows where he's going, who can read the game the same way. Harry Maguire is the same type of player, but working in tandem on the same wavelength, because let's be honest, if you're playing with Smalling or Jones and you want to do something, you're already second thinking yourself, because you don't know if you're going to be protected if you take the ball forward, what they're going to be like, because they're not going to be on the same wavelength, because they're just not that good. They're not good enough to be United players. It's obvious. So if you've got 2 players of Maguire and Lindelof who are very, very similar, Maguire probably a bit stronger and obviously better in the air, I would have thought, than Lindelof. Lindelof does hold his own, but Maguire is immense in the air, in both boxes as well. So you're taking frailty out of the team, adding quality to it, and like I said, a goal scoring threat at the other end as well, because Smalling and Jones don't chip in with enough. Lindelof scores 1. None of our defence really chip in with goals. Luke Shaw doesn't score. Ashley Young is non-existent with his goals. I think he got 1 last season. They're out of that team now. Maguire's in there. So when we do put corners in, if we can actually beat the first man, because we are shocking at corners, but we've got another threat in there now, a player who will run through a brick wall for you and literally throw his head at anything, but has got quality on the deck as well, which is basically you put in. It's not even Phil Jones and Chris Smalling. Put them together, that still doesn't make Harry Maguire, and that's how bad our backline is, because Maguire is just head and shoulders above both of them put together. If we can maybe get the likes of one of Smalling or Jones or Rojo out the club, then we've got another positive, which I thought coming off the friendly the other night was Axel Tuanzebe, because the guy obviously has got talent. He is also good on the ball. He's good in the air. He's got composure. Composure is a massive thing. Like I said, if you've got the ability to step forward into midfield as a centre-back, you're taking pressure off all the time. Because, like I said, we come up against a team who put 5 men behind the ball, who make 2 banks of 4, whatever. We can't break them down. It proved it last season, Cardiff, Huddersfield. We cannot get past them. So you need that extra option. Harry Maguire is ideal for that. He will carry the ball forward. He'll carry it into the opponent's box. We've seen him do it. It's a no-brainer. And the only reason now that any one of them duck eggs in the Three Stooges, Shaw, Young, Jones and Smalling will play next season if Luke Shaw has not recovered in time. I see a few of you talking in the comments there about Darlow at left back. I said it myself. I'm praying that he puts Darlow at left back before Ashley Young if Luke Shaw doesn't make it. But Ollie has got this thing for Ashley Young. He's got one more season left, Danny, and you can just see it. He is going to come in there at some point, and he's always going to be. There's always going to be a game where he's going to come in. Wengy Simons, Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney there, who's supposedly going to Arsenal, it's pretty cheap for a decent left back. If United had anything about them, and we can actually go in and steal this deal off Arsenal, then that would be a good shout. I'm not against that, but I just think we've got our eggs in other baskets, and we have got a lot going on in terms of other transfers, because as well as the Maguire rumours, I'm pretty much nailed on if you listen to some media sources now, like I said. We've also got the Fernandes deal, which apparently also is incredibly close. Why it's not been done and is over the line already, because we've known about it for months. So it's going now to a point where these next 2 weeks have to be when the signings are done. I don't want it going to the last day of the window. I want us to be going in, knowing exactly where we are, what we've got. Ideally, I wanted everyone in, like I've said before the actual pre-season tour started. But that's obviously not happened. And now we're just hoping that we can get these players in, get them training with the rest of the squad. Maybe fly Maguire out to Australia on the tour. Is it worth him going out? Well, definitely. One day he's there, and at least he gets used to training with the lads. That's if, obviously, it is strongly rumoured. I can't see it not going through now with the amount of media sources and who has actually said it is actually happening. But how quickly can we get this over the line? Apparently there's a medical booked at Carrington on Monday, so it could be quite soon, and there's no excuse for Maguire not to be flown out to the tour and join up with the lads. It would be ideal. It would be absolutely ideal. As for Fernandes, that deal has to be made because our midfield is looking short. I'm not having it that we're waiting on Pogba before we sign Fernandes. Fernandes has been on the cards for weeks, months even, and I think this deal for the price that it's going at is already in. It was already in the making, no matter what. But I do feel like something else linked to these transfer rumours are coming in is the fact that obviously Lukaku has also come out and said something this weekend, about we will all know more this week about what is happening with his transfer. He's actually come out quoted and said that. Where is that at? Does that mean that it could all go wrong? Obviously, it doesn't look like Inter Milan have got the money, to be fair. From the deals that they've been trying to do and get over the line, I don't think that they could, but we don't know. Something might have been made. There might have been some sort of agreement made this weekend with Lukaku. He wouldn't really come out and say it like that if there wasn't any truth behind it, I would have thought. But let's see if Lukaku is rumoured to be going out, and that's obviously linked. I think that'll just give United that extra push to go through with, knowing that Lukaku is on his way out, that we can actually go through and get Maguire and just throw our eggs into that basket. Fernandes needs to be done as well. But also interesting, a couple of other rumours that came out were the fact that Solskjaer has changed his mind regarding Icardi in terms of that Lukaku deal. So could that be the one? I can't understand why Ollie would change his mind just like that. He has been against it completely. The club have been edging towards just a pure cash deal for Lukaku and nothing else. Solskjaer had his own targets and didn't want any other player bought in on the deal. We didn't want any swap deal whatsoever. Has he changed his mind? For me, looking at the forwards and the way Greenwood played, I mean, Greenwood isn't the complete player just yet, but you can see the potential. Have we got enough if we do sell Lukaku and don't bring another striker in? Ben Yedder, I've been brought up in the comments there. I've seen that. I know he's been mentioned quite a bit. We could easily get him for the buyout clause that he has on his head, but I've just not heard enough regarding that. I mean, it is looking like that one may not happen. I'll be honest, I don't think that one would. I do think that if we do sign Maguire and Fernandes, I think that's us done this summer. It'd be a surprise if anyone else came in. They are such big deals and such big positions for United. I do think that if we do get them two through the door, that I can't see United signing more than 4 players. We very rarely sign 4. Even 5 players. I can't remember the last time that happened. Maybe Van Gaal on desperation last week of the window. But for me, if Maguire and Fernandes come in, I think that's transfers done for United. It wouldn't be an horrendous summer if that. If Pogba actually stays and we get Fernandes, we had Maguire and Bazaka's there, and obviously the promise of the youth players that came through. Garner in that midfield didn't look out of place. Like I said, he's an option. You don't need to go and waste money on Sean Longstaff when you've got a player there who is actually looking like he could be the deal also. He's younger. He's still got a few more years yet. Do we need to be going out buying another 21-year-old? No, we don't. Not when we've already got one. It's a no-brainer for me. I can't understand why. I understand the players that we're linked with, the Maguire and Fernandes, are perfect for United. Bazaka was a no-brainer. James, potential, yes. We got that deal over the line. That was a good signing. They were 4 good signings for United. And if that was... I think if you'd have offered us that at the start of the window, every United fan would have said yes. I doubt that any United fan would be unhappy with that as a window. Obviously, there's certain players that we wanted out. I wanted a lot of players out. But maybe them players leaving could happen after these deals for the likes of Maguire. Maybe Fernandes come in. Then we might see some of the players start to leave. Obviously, it does look like Lukaku is on his way, going off the rumours. But you know, it could easily start. It could start it could be a ripple effect. As soon as we sign the likes of Maguire and that's in place, then you can't have that many centre backs at the club. It's simple as that. What would that be? 6 centre backs, and out of all of them. And Maguire doesn't get too many injuries, which is another good point. Lindelof was solid last season in terms of injuries as well. Them 2 are the only 2, if we do sign Maguire, that are reliable in terms of injuries as well. We don't see Rojo. Jones manages, 15, 16 games a season with his injuries. Smalling's not far behind him. And obviously Eric Bailly, we've hardly seen him this season. He was unlucky with the impact injury he got towards the end of last season, I know, yes, but he's had his problems also. So, I mean, Maguire, he ticks every single box in terms of what we actually need at the moment. Reliability, can strike up a partnership because he's constant. He is one player who won't let you down. He will listen. He seems to be grounded. I'm not going to say English is the only way forward and only English players listen, but being English is going to help as well. Experienced Premier League, obviously knows a lot of the United squad already because of his internationals. And tick, 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 innit? It is quite obvious and it's just plain as day for me that he has to come in. Fernandes is another one. He's at the perfect age for our midfield now. We have got a few young players in there who's obviously just signed up to new contracts in our midfield. Fernandes coming into that adds goals, adds creativity. Yeah, he has played in the Portuguese league and it isn't the best. But let's be honest, every time we've bought a player from Sporting, they've not really let us down, have they? Let's be honest. Benfica, even with Lindelof, he's one of our best players now. So it's not a bad record that we've got in terms of buying players from that Portuguese league. We have had some absolute doozies. So in terms of that, I wouldn't be worried one bit. In terms of integrating into the Premier League, the Portuguese players seem to have it down. Look at the likes of Bernardo Silva at City. He took to it like a duck to water. I know he played in the French league, but I'm going off the Portuguese theme again, obviously. But they just seem to have it. They just seem to have that pure determination, which helps them integrate even better, and is an absolute bonus for us, because he wants to come United. He's obviously made all the noises. We all know he wants to play for United, which is a yes straight away. And he brings so much more to our midfield than what we've already got. Herrera's gone, Fellaini's gone. You know, I thought we needed two midfielders before we actually sold Pogba. If Pogba was going, it doesn't look like he is now, or if the way it's going with the likes of Neymar being reportedly touted up or looking like he could be a possible target for Madrid, that would cancel out Pogba completely. Juve 100% cannot afford Pogba. I don't care what their fans say. It's impossible for them to hit the financial fair play with De Ligt coming in as well now, and their wage bill is off the scale with what they've signed already this summer. So no, it doesn't look like Pogba is going to be leaving. He has got a problem next season in terms of his attitude and how he approaches it, because United fans don't forget, and there's some United fans who are absolute tools, I'm not going to lie. Some United fans are idiots. Like the guy who was slagging him off walking off the pitch. I'm not for that. Yeah, you vent your aggression in the game. I show my aggression and frustration to the players when they don't perform to their ability. I slag them off the pitch. But when they're on the pitch, inevitably you would normally knuckle down, get behind the players and get behind the team. We all do our moaning off the pitch when the game's done, rightly so, because if they've not performed, then they deserve all the critique that they get. Pogba apparently had his best season last season, and we finished 6th, and he wants to leave. He said he wanted to leave. So if United fans who are not liking Pogba, which is quite a lot, are looking at that, they're thinking that was his best season, and we finished where we did. He's already said he doesn't want to be at the club. Can he turn it around? It is a big ask, and if he is the player that he supposedly is, the world-class centre midfielder, then he's going to have to show that next season if he stays at the club. I said myself I wanted him out after what he said. I still think that's the case for me. I'm not going to go back on that. But if he doesn't, then obviously I've got what's in front of us. We can only support the players that are on the pitch wearing the shirt. How is Pogba going to approach it? If new players of higher quality come in, like Fernandes, which is an obvious upgrade on the midfielders we've already got, is he going to be a father figure? Is he going to bring through this youthful team? Can Ollie get into his head that this is the way forward? He's asked for Pogba's asked for the way United are going forward. He wants reassurances about what United are doing, how they're going forward. Has Ollie told him, or can Ollie be 100% and say, look, I'm the manager of Man United, I want you to bring this new age through as the leader of Manchester United? That's why he keeps dropping hints that he could be made captain. I don't know where Ollie's head is at with it, but maybe that is an angle he's going at. Literally could be saying to him, it's like, I know it's far-fetched, but like a Cantona scenario when the class of 92 came through. Pogba's got years on his side. He could still play for another 7-8 years at the top level at his age. He should be now heading into his peak. We've seen signs of him taking the game by the scruff of the neck. It's when we've been behind and he's been the leading light, or the player that everyone is expecting to actually bring us back into the game, and he's not. That's been the problem with Lukaku, and the major critique that has actually come on his shoulders has been on them games when we're down, and he's just looked to have, his shoulders look slumped and he doesn't look like he's up for it. But if the players like Fernandes are coming in alongside him, you've got better centre-backs who can pass the ball, who can carry the ball with him, who he can rely on for picking him out when he makes a certain run or a move. The link from defence to attack would automatically be 100% better if you had the likes of Maguire, Fernandes, Pogba, then going forward to the front line with, say, a Martial in centre-forward. Then you're looking at a different proposition altogether, because Lukaku wouldn't be there, who can't hold the ball up. Smalling and Jones won't be there, who can't pass wind. And straight away you've lost the likes of Fellaini. Yeah, Fellaini went a long time ago, I know, but Herrera was good for what he did in terms of breaking things up, but he was never the most finest in terms of passing, or could actually make that killer pass, whereas Fernandes would be. Them sort of players going forwards, you've got to admit that is a different kettle of fish altogether for United. The way the team would be looking with them players in, you could imagine Fernandes and Pogba in centre midfield. The options up front with maybe Martial. You've got Greenwood to come in. You've got Chong, you've got Gomez, you've got James, Rashford, Lingard even. Mata can fit in there somewhere, where for the cup games, when they need resting, we've got the Europa League to get through. So it's a different ball game altogether. And like I said, no Lukaku there will benefit that style of play. I understand Lukaku's plus points, I really do. But United don't play that way. Lukaku needs to be feeding off crosses in the box, bullying defenders. With his back to goal, he's useless to us. He's just not going to work, and we're not going to play that way. It's quite obvious. We've not bought an out-and-out right winger again this summer. We've avoided it, unless he plays James there. Obviously, you've got Chong, tried it out. There's plenty of options for rotation up there, but it's still not going to be a formation that fits Lukaku, where balls are going into the box and he can bully. He's useless outside the box. He's absolutely useless. We've seen it. And him out of the team, a different option up front. I don't think United will go for a Cardi, but we've got Greenwood there who's a different option. He looks sharp on the ball again. Another year, Rashford looks like he's filled out a little bit more from the pictures of training I've seen and playing yesterday. He does put up a bit more muscle. He's still growing, let's not forget. He's still only young, still 21. And obviously Martial, Lingard. Oh, I'll forget Lingard. Don't want to go on about him. He's got a lot to do to turn it around for me. But them players there I've just mentioned, it's completely different next season, and it does look a little bit more encouraging. If, of course, and it's still an if, these transfers do come off and we do get these players in. The signs are good, so fingers crossed they do come off, and it will be a game changer. And I will actually be looking forward to the start of the season. I am now. I was actually excited. I was actually excited to watch the game yesterday, just to see some football and see how, and hoping that we did give a lot of the younger players a shout out and actually get them in the team and see what they were made of. And we did. We got quite a few of them in. So I was really, really happy with the game yesterday and was really encouraged by it. And if we do bring these players in, like we said, adding that to it, there's plenty of encouragement going forward to the new season then. And it all changes around. It is an if, obviously, like I just said, this is United and Woodward we're dealing with. But, yeah, the signs do look good. They do look good. So, I'm just going to go into a few of your comments, just see what you guys are talking about. Let's see. Let me see. Pepe is going to Arsenal. Ingy Simons. If Arsenal can afford him, if they're going for Tierney, then I don't think Arsenal will be able to afford him. The rumours of Zaha have gone dead on them. I think Mike Hunt's just come back there and said he's not. Arsenal aren't signing Pepe. Yes, you're open and arguing amongst yourselves there. That's good. Let's see. What else is going on here? Imagine next season defence with Youngie failing Jones and Shaw. It will be a catastrophe. That's from Leslie Lai, is it? Yeah, that's what I just said there. If you do get Maguire in, then that defence isn't even going to come into it, mate. It's literally, we've covered all angles in terms of them three if Maguire comes in, because Smalling and Young are not going to get ahead of Lindelof or Maguire, so that's them two out of it. And obviously, Young isn't going to get ahead of Bataka. There's not a cat in hell's chance, because Ollie has actually bought in Bataka. That is his signing, and you don't leave a player who is, the fifth highest in value that United have ever bought. You're not going to leave him on the bench, are you? So it's definitely encouraging. Let's see who else we've got on here. Ollie is a political leader. Yeah, he does handle them press conferences. I don't like the way he's handled the press conferences. You all know this already. But yeah, if he makes the right signings and he can get the team playing, it is all down to him then. The players that are in and the team going forward next season, once that window shuts, then it is only Ollie that can be blamed, and the owners will blame him straight away. God, what else we got here? Let's see. Adam, is it true that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is using United as a stepping stone to become Norwegian Prime Minister? Yeah, it could be, mate. Yeah, I like that one. Yes, could well be. But to be honest, I don't think he's got the look for it. He seems to have been worn out by managing Man United. He seems to have bags under his eyes already. If he went into politics, I think it would be the end of him, mate. Let's be honest. Mike Lilly, hi, Ads. Remember what Alf said? Youngest captain, we win nothing. Yeah, Mike. Hopefully, the captain doesn't play next season, and Ollie is forced to make a new captain. And it may well be Pogba, mate. Just a quick one there, very important one. I was trying to watch it. If that is right, Viking Reds, thanks for bringing that up, mate. I was watching the Cricket World Cup final, completely off subject before, but I know it was dead level after both innings. But cheers for bringing that up, mate. I did want to know that, actually. So thank you very much, Viking Red, and welcome to the show, obviously, mate. So let's see what else we got here. I can get through a few of these tonight with no one else on the show. I really like your channel. Keep it up. Thank you, Faris Alpha. Phil Jones for captain. Eric the King, shut your mouth, mate. I'm not having that at all. Stop swearing at me. It's not funny. Let's see what else we got. Adam, are the Glazers bowing to the fans to spend? The Glazers are not bowing to the fans. The Glazers will never bow to the fans, mate. The Glazers are doing enough to keep United earning what money is necessary to actually keep sponsors happy and enough to keep us in the top four, basically. That is their aim. I don't think they'd be too bothered about what United win. That would be a bonus, and lucky if Ollie can actually make it happen. It's basically coming down to what they have to do. It's as minimal as possible, I would say, in terms of what the Glazers are spending right now. It pretty much nails it on the head, I think. I don't think they will spend anywhere near what the likes of supposedly big clubs, I mean Barcelona, Real Madrid, they're both into 300, 200 million. I don't think United will ever get past 200 million again now. I think I had a conversation with someone else the other day about what do you think, does it look like the Glazers were looking to sell? From the way we've gone, if these deals don't go through and United come out of like a net spend of like 100 million over the last two windows, which is still possible if the likes of Lukaku go, especially if Pogba goes. You could be looking at making a leading profit this summer if Pogba goes. Then it all boils down to and leads to roads in business that I know of that you were looking to sell by spending minimum, but just keeping your head above water before someone comes in and buys the club. Possibly, I don't know. If we sign Maguire, we sign Fernandes, I think United will be fighting for that top four, and the money will still keep flooding into United and the Glazers' pockets. And then they would use that excuse probably next season, say, look, we've got to fourth now, we don't need to spend as much next summer, because when we've been in the top four, we seem to have not spent as much. When we've been out of the top four, it seems to be a trait that they do actually put the hand in the pocket and spend a little bit of money just to get us back in, to keep our head above water with sponsors, things like that. So that could well be it. Adam, do you think that Obertan was a good replacement for Ronaldo? Mate, stop with the stupid questions now, please. I know you're having a giggle there, mate, but yeah, that would be a comparison would be Pogba goes and Longstaff comes in. That would be exactly the same. I do remember that summer when Owen Obertan and Valencia came in for Ronaldo's money. That's a perfect Glazer sort of summer, that. Trying to make it look like we're actually spending the money that we've actually made when we wasn't really. It was a disaster of a summer, that one. Michael Owen in the United shirt, even though he scored that goal against City, it's horrible. I just can't stand the guy, to be honest. I really can't. Who else have we got here? Keith Robinson, I can see Man City getting one of them, Adam. Would that be one of Fernandes or Maguire, maybe? I don't think City will spend above 65 million on any player. they've stuck to it and they haven't broke it. Even under Pep, they've never gone past it. And I thought De Ligt was perfect for City. He would have been the ideal signing. I just don't think they was able to get past, and I've heard him talking about on the radio this week, the fact that Ronaldo came up to De Ligt was the nail in the coffin in terms of that deal to Juve. The options were there, and Barcelona wouldn't deal with Mino Raiola, and that pretty much scuppered Barcelona. Otherwise I thought he would have gone there, but Ronaldo pretty much secured the deal if you listen to everything that was said. And De Ligt was ideal for City. I don't think they will spend the money on Maguire. I really don't. I'll never say never, obviously, but Fernandes, the money that's been touted for him looks like it could go over City's budget as well, and he isn't the sort of player that they sort of need. They need like the robust sort of holding mid player that's going to replace Fernandinho, and they seem to have done that already with is it Rodri from Atletico Madrid. So I actually don't think City will come in and scupper any of these deals if in fact we are in for them, which it does look like we are. So no, I'm pretty confident that City won't actually come in for these. They have a strict rule and they abide by it. You got to give them credit for it, but it is a way they've worked, and they will miss out on Maguire because we're the only club that looks like we're willing to spend that amount of money on him. Let's see what else we've got here. Let's see. And if we get Maguire, the only major problem will be midfield. Yeah, if we get Fernandes, I'll add to that, then that will look like midfield is getting better. Even if we do lose Pogba and bring Fernandes in, it won't be as bad, I would have thought. But I do think that if Pogba goes, we needed two, I thought, before the summer. Whether he's thinking McTominay, Fred, Pereira, obviously all on new deals, got long-term contracts, are good enough. The rumours are that Matic might actually be going, which would be a massive bonus. But then that would have meant we've lost 3 midfielders and only bought 1 in. And then if Pogba does go, a worst case scenario goes right at the end of the window and we can't replace him, then we're looking a bit threadbare again in that midfield. And Fernandes would then need to carry the rest of their midfielders because there's no one else established enough to do it. If Pogba was still there, then Fernandes would probably thrive a little bit more, I would have thought, because he's got a player with similar sort of qualities, and obviously he's a big time player when he gets it going. So it is kind of all up in the air, and I do think the Fernandes and Maguire deals will go through. That's my personal opinion. Then I think we might start seeing a few players leave, like I have said, and that would be very interesting then about who actually leaves. Hopefully some players from the back line would go. There's still no movement on Darmian. I can't believe that guy still hasn't gone. I'd expect deals for Darmian, them sort of players. If Matic was leaving, and we did get Maguire in, we did get Fernandes in, I'd expect Darmian to be gone straight away. I would expect a few players to be loaned out maybe. Some of the younger players. It'll all happen, I think, as soon as these big moves are made, if in fact they do happen. But yeah, I mean, midfield does look a bit of an issue for us with the players we've got. I'm not nothing against the players we've got. I do think they have got certain qualities, but I think they need someone next to them. I don't think any one of them players that we've got in our midfield, barring Pogba, can actually take it upon the shoulders and actually carry a team forward. Yeah, it's a long ask for Pogba with his attitude sometimes, I know, but he's got the qualities to do it. The others haven't, for me. They really haven't. As good as they are with someone good next to him, on their own, different ball game. And that is, if you're thinking that's where we might look a bit threadbare, I'd agree with that, definitely. Any more on Ben Yedder, Viking Red? No, sorry, mate, not that I know of. And like I said, unless the floodgates open now, once everything starts moving with these signings, and maybe when we get back from the tour, you never know, but it doesn't look like it, mate, to be honest. It really doesn't. I don't think we'll sign anyone. Therese Ravenhill. Yeah, I said that the other day. I resigned myself to no one else coming in, and reverse psychology worked, because it does look like Maguire will happen. So maybe we should all just keep saying that we're not going to sign anyone, and it might actually happen. But of course, there's every chance that we might not sign anyone yet. Like I said, this is Ed Woodward, this is United dealing with these signings, so anything is possible. Harry is coming, YouTube style. Yeah, Fingers crossed, mate. Phil Burnwood, how you doing, mate? City have an agreement with Sporting to take their youth players. Both clubs are working together, possibly, but United do have a good relationship with Sporting also, mate, in terms of the players that we've bought from them. I don't think City would come in on this deal for Fernandes, though. I do think that City are rammed in that midfield, and unless they offload some players, I don't think City would. Plus, City are struggling a little bit with homegrown talent in terms of meeting that quota as well, I've heard. So, don't think City would get in the way of this one, like I said. Harry Maguire, you would have thought, though, homegrown, possibly. But Fernandes, no, I don't think so. I think that still will happen. I'm crossing everything, obviously. And if it didn't happen, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not losing any sleep over the fact of that, but it is. Brian Okuku, I hope I said that right, Brian, mate. Imagine a 3-4-3 formation with Axel, Lindelof and Maguire at the back, and Shaw and Bazaka Darlow as fullbacks. Yeah, it's an option. I don't think it will happen. I just don't think Ollie is going to ever play free at the back after what happened. I don't think it suits us. I don't think the players are... Our players at left and right back now, if you take Shaw and Bazaka, I think are out and out good defending right back and left back defenders. They're not brilliant going forward, I'll say that. They are okay. Shaw does need to work on his end products when he is overlapping. He's bad on that and was pretty poor last season. Bazaka has still got time to learn that. Depending who plays in front of them two, I'd have thought, in terms of right wing, left wing sort of players, how they actually move forward in terms of like improving their game up front, going forward, balls into the box. All depends. Let's see. Mike Lilly, Liverpool and City fans. Maguire, Everton player at best. Go away, dickheads. Everton at best defender. Then, obviously, that means that he is the right one. He is a decent player for us, because once they start worrying, then we know that we're making the right moves. I had a Liverpool fan coming to me at my work and actually said he's actually dreading Daniel James playing for Man United. He thinks he's absolutely must. He was hoping that we wouldn't get him because he thinks he is a quality player. It could turn out to be that way. I hope it does, because the guy just seems to have the exact attitude of what we need right now. I hope he does get a lot of game time next season, given a chance to prove how good he actually is. Let's see what else we got before we finish up here. Someone replying to Phil there, mate. I am a City fan. City do not need Fernandes. There's City fans saying they don't need Fernandes. I agree with that. I just don't think they need Fernandes. I think they're already rammed in there. A replacement for... I think they will introduce... is it Rodri? I can't remember his bloody name. The guy from Atletico Madrid they've bought. I think Fernandinho will still play a few games, but I think the new signing will come in and be integrated this season for City, and that is the area. Obviously, they might be looking at a centre-back of some sort. I don't know. I would have thought they would have brought one in for company. But it all depended on, apparently, Otamendi, because he was due to leave City, but then didn't know about the company situation. And now, if Otamendi does stay, then I don't think City would go out and buy another centre-back. And time's ticking. We've only got 3 weeks to go. We've not heard anything in terms of City buying any more players. Maybe they're done and dusted. We don't know. So, let's see. Yeah, he just replied there. It is Rodri. That was it. Yeah, pretty much done and dusted. Daniel James is mint. What a player he's going to be. Davy Doubledecks. Love that name, mate. I love that name. Yeah, it does look like he has got oodles of potential, the lad. I'll give him that. He really does. Lingard out, Bruno in. Agree totally, mate. John McCarthy, definitely agree with that. It is, if Lingard wasn't in that team next year, and I mean, the guy had enough chances, hasn't he? Let's be honest. He's had more than enough chances at United, and he has failed pretty much. He had one good season under Mourinho. We have to be sort of cruel now, in a way. It's not cruel, it's being strict. If we want to be back up there, Lingard isn't the player who's going to take us there. Fernandes might. Different ball game. Maybe one of the younger kids will take their opportunity and move forward and progress. Could be the case. Lingard's had too many chances for me. That's the problem I've got with Lingard. We keep going back to it, saying he's homegrown and this and that. Well, no, I don't care if he's homegrown. If you're not good enough, you don't play. Simple as that. United on my own tonight. But thanks for tuning in and leaving all the messages and commenting in the comment section, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Again, comment when the video goes up on the channel later tonight. I'll get back to you all then. It's hard to speak to everyone who comes up in the comments, obviously. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching for the first time. Thanks if you have already. I much appreciate all the support that I've had, especially recently, people coming out and saying, there was a few shout outs I was going to get through tonight. If I didn't do them, sorry, I had a bit of technical issues at the start and I've not been able to get everything done that I wanted to on this one tonight, but going to finish on that. It has been a positive one, I hope, a bit better than it has been recently. So anyone who always says that I am negative and not happy about things that are going on, the last couple have been a little bit upbeat, you got to admit. So moving forward, hopefully that all these rumours that have come out this weekend do start to come into fruition this week, and we do see the likes of Maguire coming in, and hopefully Fernandes would be a massive double bonus for us this week. And obviously we're playing Leeds on Wednesday, so another big game, another crunch rivalry, big rivalry. I know it's in Australia, but still it's Leeds, and we get to give the Leeds fans some jip as well over there. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I will be back in midweek for a preview to the Leeds game, and hopefully talking, if anything does break before that, I will be on top of that also. So hopefully I will be back with good news before the Leeds game. If not, I will see you for that one, and hope you all have a good rest of the evening. I hope you've had a good weekend. I'll see you in the week. Heads up. Let's hope that all this comes off for United and we can have a really positive week. It's been a good start, a good weekend. Let's move on from here. I'll see you all guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.